Hi, and welcome back. Here we are on week 3, day 2, and today's activities or today's lessons are actually up here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to get started with our reading language arts, and that is on page 17 in your binder, right? And we're going to start right on day 1. So the first thing we're going to go over is the mystery game. Okay, so we played this one before. So again, we're doing the activities over and over so they can get different practice, right? And what we're doing is we're doing something like you are telling your child, I'm thinking of someone whose name begins with right? So at this point, your child can think of anybody's name that begins with the sound And well, that would vary, right? They can say mom, right? Or if they know somebody named Molly, Maria, or any other name. Okay, so that is the activity, the first activity. Or you can actually play with words. Okay, so for example, look around and say, okay, I'm thinking of an object that begins with not someone, but an object. And they would give you as many words that begin with the and then you would tell them no if that's not the one you thought of, right? So the whole point is that you think of one specific thing and then they try and guess which word were you thinking of. Okay, so I was thinking of a marker because I'm here in my classroom, so I think of things here, right? So you want to kind of do that, maybe be in your kitchen and say, okay, from the kitchen, I'm thinking of an object that begins with and they would say, oh, we're in the kitchen. Oh, fork. And you would say, yes, you're correct, right? I'm thinking of, we're still in the kitchen. I'm thinking of an object that begins with plate. Yes, plate. Okay, so I'm thinking of, still in the kitchen, I'm thinking of an object that begins with paper towel. Okay, so there's different things, and of course the more things that they name, even if it's not the one that you were thinking of, it's awesome because they are connecting the sounds with different things around them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to our next activity. The next one is on page 49 and it's called blend words. Okay, so here what you're going to tell them, it's let's see if you can guess what I'm hiding behind my back. So you're going to have different things, right? And it's good to have the actual object. So just grab different things around the house and then just say, okay, so let me see if you can guess what I have behind my back. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to put the sounds together. You're going to blend. Okay, so the first object that I have is a k, a p. What do I have that is our secret object? A cup. Very good. So I have a cup. Okay, let's try another one. Plate. What's that word? A plate. Very good. I have a plate. Okay, what do I have behind my back now? Apple. An apple. Very good. What do I have behind my back? Bottle. Bottle. Very good. It's a bottle. And last one, what do I have behind my back? Book. A book. Very good. A book. Okay, so that one was blending words or blend words. Okay, and all you're doing is grabbing some objects, having them handy so that they can guess after you stretch out those sounds. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on We are on page 83, and this is today's book. I believe we were working on it yesterday. And we talked about, can you see in the dark? We talked about how some places do not have any light, and that's what we call darkness, right? When you can't see anything. Okay, so what do we use, or what can we do to help us see in the dark? We use flashlights, we turn on the light, we have night lights at home that we can use, right? There was a variety of things. And what we want you to do today is to specify or to focus on one of these pages, right? We want you to focus on one of the pages and tell us, draw the page, of course, and tell us what is happening. Okay, so here we see these kids right here. What are they doing? What do you think is happening? What's happening here? Where are they? They're at the movies, right? And then here, the night is dark and it is raining. And what happens when it rains? It gets very dark. Remember, those clouds start to cover the moon and you can't see anymore. So when it rains, it gets darker than usual, right? At night. And then you can think of what's happening here, right? It's nighttime and he's in his bedroom. What is he using, right? Here they are in a cave. Caves are dark, right? So choose one of these pages, boys and girls. Go ahead and choose a page and tell us, what do you think is happening? Now, if you already read it, that's great. So you could just tell us in your notebook, in your black notebook, this one right here. You're going to find a page and then just draw a picture and tell us what is happening in that part of the book. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on. So that was the story, Can You See in the Dark, page 83. Now we're going to math, and if you're following along with your lesson plan, we have it on page 31. So it says week 3, and we are in day 2, right? Day 2. Okay, so today's topic is again word problems. And of course, we're just building on that knowledge. We're building more and more so that you can understand it. Let me go ahead and move it so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so what I did is I grabbed page 212, which is the page we're working on, and I went ahead and just wrote 1 and 2 so we can go over it a little bit better than just using our paper. Again, Bill has 16 grapes. So I know that's how many he has in all, right? 10 are on a vine and 6 are on the ground. Okay, but we know that total there's 16. Bill eats 9 grapes from the vine. How many grapes does Bill have left? Okay, so that is important because if he ate it, right? If he eats it, then I'm going to subtract. I'm going to take away. Once you eat them, they're gone, right? So we're not adding. That's our extra number right there. So I know that he started with 16. So that's where we get our 16 right here. That's our total. Okay, so then 10 are on the vine, and there's their 10. And 6 are on the ground. They're right there. Now what they want you to do is you're going to subtract 9. Okay? So where can I subtract 9? Can I subtract 9 from here? Can I subtract 9 from 6? No, right? So I'm going to go to my 10 because remember, I want to work with the part that I can either add all of it or I can take away all of it. Okay, so I'm going to take away 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So how many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bill has 7 grapes now. Okay, now all we did, we used this, the number, right? We put the total and then how many were where, but then we went ahead and subtracted the 9. Okay, now let's go to number 2. 12 frogs are in the pond. That's my total, right? 10 are on the lily pad. They're still in the pond, but on top of a lily pad. And 2 are in the water. Still in the pond, just in the water. 9 frogs hop off. If they hop off the lily pad, okay, I'm going to subtract. I'm going to take them off because they're no longer in my lily pad. How many frogs are in the pond? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw. Over here they had already drawn it for us. Now we have to draw it ourselves. So we're going to start with 10, and I'm going to group them by 5 because it's easier, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 2. And 9 frogs hop off the lily pad. So I am going to subtract, or I'm going to slash 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? And now they want to know how many frogs are in the pond now. So now they jumped off, right? So we have 1, 2, 3. There are 3 frogs still in the pond. Okay? It's the same thing. We're just drawing it different. We're using different webs, number webs, right? But it's all just so that we can go ahead and organize our information. Okay, so you will be responsible to finishing up number 3 for that page. And on page 213, you find this page right here. And it's about the same thing, but of course they left some parts off. So it is your job to kind of fill in the rest. But remember, here we put in the total and then we put the parts in there. Okay, and then we draw our pictures and we answer our question, our statement. Okay, alrighty then. We're going to go ahead and move on to science today. So if you're following along again for science, it is on page 39. And we're going to be talking about frogs. And on page 310 in the back of your, or in your science section, you will find some background information about frogs. Okay, so there is a Brain Pop video on Brain Pop Junior, and it is actually pretty awesome. It tells you all about frogs, and I'm just going to give you some basic information that is in there, right? And then maybe read a story about frogs, but of course it'll be a fiction, okay, because I already gave you so many fiction information here. So first of all, frogs can be found anywhere. It doesn't matter. There's all different types of frogs, so they can be found anywhere, whether it be an urban park or a forest and so forth. Okay. They are vertebrates, which means that they have a spine and they have a backbone, okay? They're also considered amphibians, which means that they have learned how to live in the water and out of the water, but they're always going to be around water because they need water to survive, right? And they are cold-blooded, which means that they rely on their environment to be able to control the body temperature, okay? So they use they warm up on land and they cool down in the water and in the mud. So that's how they are cold-blooded. Okay, so then we talk about how adult frogs, they breathe through lungs. They have lungs just like we do. Okay, so they're not any more different than us. And they can breathe and drink water through their skin. So that's kind of fascinating. It's a fascinating fact, right? They have strong legs that help them jump and hop great distance. Okay, and some have sticky feet, like the tree frogs, so that they are able to maintain themselves in the trees. Okay, and they have web feet, which means that their fingers are connected by like a very thin skin. They have web feet to help them swim. Okay, so they live in freshwater habitats, so you will not find them by the ocean. And they can be found in jungles, rainforests, woodland, forests, and even deserts. There's some desert frogs as well. Okay, so um, remember that they are prey. They are animals that are eaten by predators, which predators eat other animals, right? So of course they have the ability to camouflage. Some of them can camouflage so that they can be able to live longer. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to read a story called Leap Froggy Leap, right? And it's one of my daughters, so she asked like, "Oh, you're taking my book," and I'm just like, "I'm just gonna borrow it. I'll bring it back." Okay, so here's the frog, and he leaps from page to page, right? It says boing. It's hard to see, right? This way, this way. It says boing. "What a hop!" cries Froggy to himself. "I'll bet you I can hop right over that nest." Boing. And if you can see it, as you can see, he's on top of a lily pad, right? And these are called cattails. And the environment is a pond. We see a dragonfly there, and of course, that's where he wants to jump, inside the nest. "Stop!" quacks Mama Duck. "Look at what you've done." "Hop it, Froggy, hop it. Leave my nest alone." Boing. So Mama Duck was not happy at all. So there he goes. "Whoops," Froggy says to Turtle. "I thought you were a stone. But I'm a jolly jumper. Watch me. I'm gone." Boing. And the turtle looks like he was asleep, right? Trying to get it in there. "Look out, Froggy. Look for Hungry Heron's beak. Don't stop to say hello. Leap, Froggy, leap." Boing. So the heron is telling him, "Nope, go ahead and move on. You don't have to stop to say hello." "Help! What's that lurking where the pool is dark and dim?" Uh-oh. "Froggy, better do your best. One more hop." Boing. There's his predator. What is that? An alligator? Crocodile? Let's find out. "Quick! Catch Froggy. Save him. Don't leave him here alone. Close the book and help him get safe back home." And that's where he's going to jump back home where he belongs. Okay, so we saw the different animals you can find in the pond and where you can find his environment. And then of course we actually got to see the predator that he has, which is one of the predators, right? So that was a fun book, right? So it kind of gave you like a background on him or his surroundings. One thing that I would like to go over before we end this video is the frog cycle. So yesterday we talked about the butterfly cycle and the different stages that a butterfly goes through. Well, today I wanted to go over the frog cycle just a little bit. So here is the life of a frog. So it starts with an egg, and perhaps you've seen this in a body of water, right? And you've wondered, what is that? Those are the eggs of a frog. Okay, and then from there they become a tadpole, which is this little thing, right? Here they're swimming together. They don't have any feet at that point, right? But then you start seeing something else come up. Sorry, it's all crooked. And then you see the little hands. Then they become a froglet, which is right here. Now the tail is starting to form a little bit more, right? And now we see those little things on the bottom of the feet, right there. And then they become the adult frog that we normally see in our ponds. Okay, so those are the different stages: the egg, a tadpole, the froglet, and then the adult frog. Okay, something similar, and it just continues repeating. That is his life cycle of a frog. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed everything that you learned. Hopefully you understood it. Again, you can always reach us wherever you have in a platform or through text or email. Go ahead and contact us. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you're doing wonderful. We appreciate you stopping, and we'll see you tomorrow. See you later.